We're the 23rd of October, and it's very early in the morning. I have slept slightly, and also I have read and meditated a little bit. And I will try to express in a few minutes what I try to express in most of my previous videos, but especially the previous one. But God is being. God is, I would say, the fact that there is being. Being is. There is being. And this is God. Yeah. Because I have tried to communicate with overwhelmingly complex, although strictly speaking it was not really as serious as the writings of Hegel, as I would say, but I have tried to communicate many truths, but the most simple is that being, there is being. And this being, the fact that there is God. But God is not just being, it's as it is being perceived by myself. I don't know, it's a wealth of perception, phenomena, properties, characteristics, etc., etc. So God is the whole universe, but also the consciousness of the universe and the interaction between the two. That's ontology and epistemology, thought and being. And in a way, to express this clearly, we, wherever there is a we are living within God. The experience of being occurs within God. But God, like I said, is not just being, it's also the thought of being. That's why I insist on logic, when I talk about spirit and mind, etc., the immaterial substance in the case of spirit, or the rational understanding of reality. And we are living within God. This explains, formulated this way, this explains a lot of my frustration and the content of a lot of my videos, because I have failed to communicate this most simplistic truth, the fact that there is not something, it's already too determined, but there is being. Because I have doubted this, that's the Buddhist view, the idea that there might be nothing. Yeah. But being precisely determines itself, that's the beginning of the process, etc. Being, nothing, becoming, Dasein, etc., etc. And yeah, I thought about this because of Taylor Swift, because I felt very negative, I still do, but I've improved slightly, and in my reality appeared the new album by Taylor Swift, with the song Anti-Hero and Karma and Labyrinth, which express perfectly what I was thinking, in an artistic way, what I was experiencing in my soul, or what I was thinking about. And Taylor Swift exists within being. Existence is the determination of essence, etc. But the whole universe is, in a way, the revelation of God. But not just the universe, that would be pantheism, but the thought of the universe, the thought that each individual consciousness has of the universe, depending on his or her position within the totality. That's why I say that God is the totality of being, becoming conscious of itself. Yeah. And 4 years ago, in August 2018, I knew myself to be the whole of reality, to be the consciousness of the whole of reality, and I call this God, but I am not. That's where my epistemological problem comes from. When I say I am God, I don't know really what being, what the self, and what God are, but it's not just me as an individual, it's the consciousness of an entire world. But in order for consciousness to emerge, there has to be separation, and this distanciation, differentiation, separation is a negative relation to self. That's why I'm in relation to myself, to my own being. That's why the world is my world, because I perceive the world. The cosmos is my cosmos. The planet is my planet, etc. But not only because I perceive, but also because if I think correctly, I can grasp and equalize through my mind the determinations of the real. That's why I can conquer the world through my mind if I think correctly. Through my body, I am limited in time and space, but through my mind, I am infinite. I do not cease to be what I am, whatever or wherever I go, whatever I think about, wherever I go with my mind. It's not spatio-temporal movement, it's simply cognitive grasping. I can grasp the physical determinations of the planets. I don't need to go there in spaceship. I just have to think correctly about gravitational attraction, chemical properties, etc., etc. And the same goes for the human realm. Anthropology, psychology, and society, what I call objective Geist, and absolute spirit. The example is being the new album by Taylor Swift, which is Taylor Swift is within being, and she expresses an aspect of being, and I recognize myself in her songs and her album and herself because she is within my own being. She exists within God. And I've realized that the philosophy of Hegel, the writings of Hegel, it's overwhelmingly complex, but it's not mindlessly complex, it's simply very complex. But actually, I have traveled very far and wide in thought, and I have become unable to express myself clearly for ordinary humans because I set my standards on the intellectual requirements of Hegel. That's the writings of Hegel. I've understood this. It helps appease me because, yeah, but my standards in terms of intellect, they are so difficult to attain, they are so complex, they are so high that that's the reason why I've failed consistently almost to communicate. But actually my truth, no, but through the mediation of the intellectual process, it's become clearer. But it's just to say that God is being. We all exist. Existence is already, but a determination of essence, not of being. But we are within God. There is only one being. I've realized that I have to express simply the truth that I have discovered on my intellectual path in ordinary language to communicate what I have myself had to understand. Namely, God is being. And there is only one being. Unity is a logical determination, distinct from pure being, but it's later in the process. But being is one. This is the kind of debate that the Neoplatonists had in their books, Plotinus, Proclus, etc., etc. Being is one. So there is only one being. From this follows the unity of all things within being, the interconnectedness of all things. Yeah, I will not make too long a video, but I will work all day with my new understanding, because I read Philip K. Dick, the most ludicrously complex book, the exegesis, one might think of maybe, but actually it's becoming very clear because I understand. Yeah, so. I will end the video on a positive note. My difficulty, my suffering, my pain consists in not being able to love my own being, but actually being is kind of amazing. There are negative aspects within being, but just the appearance of Taylor Swift on her new album, it's amazing, it's wonderful. In a sense, it's very easy to be amazed by God. It's wonderful. But then there are the negative aspects within being. Yeah. But the fact that an entire universe emerged out of being, which is nothing, that the entirety of the universe emerged out of God, that's the great misunderstanding, but because people imagine that God is a transcendent, it is also in a moment in the process a transcendent principle, but they seek God outside of being, in a different realm. It's partly true, but it's one aspect of God. But God is the whole process of being, the unfolding, the development, the evolution of the world and of consciousness and their reciprocal interaction. So, yeah. I will stop the video here and I will keep working because now I have many things to say. I don't know how I will express myself, how I will communicate, but yeah, I will stop there for now.